There are many different compilers to choose from, but first, you need to know exactly what an eBook compiler does. Here is the simple explanation. An eBook compiler is a software program that converts either text pages or HTML text into a single executable file or an eBook. If you or someone you hired has created a file with graphics in HTML, you will need an HTML eBook compiler. This type of compiler requires a working knowledge of the HTML tag language. You can also use software to do this for you, such as Microsoft FrontPage or Macromedia Dreamweaver. How do you choose an eBook compiler? There are a large number of eBook compilers available on the market, all with glowing sales copy and techy language. It can get very confusing and overwhelming very fast without some simple guidelines to help you figure out which compiler is right for you. Choosing an eBook compiler depends on a number of factors. 1. How did you create your pages? Did you use HTML or PDF format? There are many more compilers available for HTML, but you can find some very good compilers that will convert your PDF files into an eBook. 2. Consider how easy the program is to use and the thoroughness of the software's instruction manual. It is absolutely necessary that the compiler you buy have an instructional manual, documentation, or online wizards. If it doesn't, your chances of figuring out how to correctly use the program are compromised, and the time required doing so is going to be significant. Many manufacturers of compilers offer a free trial version, so you can play around with it and see if it suits your needs. Download the trial version and ascertain that it actually does what it claims to do. 3. Security features. If you plan to sell your eBook, check out the security features of the compiler software carefully. Security features should include prevention of the reader from modifying text, access only to the pages you assigned or by entering a password, different ways of generating passwords such as secure passwords, user-friendly, and open passwords. 4. Supported scripting. Find out what scripts the software supports. Scripting allows you to create special effects, customize menus, and create and modify other user interactivity. Choose a compiler that permits you to include graphics, search windows, hyperlinks, forms, surveys, etc. 5. Pricing. This is a factor that is not always easy to gauge. The highest priced compilers are not automatically your best choice. Choose your compiler based on the necessary requirements for your eBook. That means you need to know exactly how you plan to use your eBook and what functions you require. Let's look at some of these factors in more detail. First of all, make sure you have the correct browser to run the compiler. The majority of HTML compilers use Microsoft Internet Explorer or Netscape. Check out the version that the compiler supports. Compilers that require a browser will not run on a computer that does not have the required browser installed. However, there are eBook HTML compilers that don't require you to have any browser installed on your computer. These compilers run on any Windows system. If you choose a compiler that requires a browser, check to ascertain that the browser is installed correctly and that it is properly configured to the specifications of the compiler. Check to see if certain functions are turned off or on, and make any adjustments according to the compiler. Instructions. Security is an essential element of any compiler, regardless of whether you plan to sell or give away your eBook. One of the main reasons for using a compiler is to prevent the reader from modifying the contents. A secure compiler allows access only to the pages you want the user to access unless they enter a correct password. To find out how secure an eBook HTML compiler is, open an eBook on it. While it is open, check the temporary directory of your computer. This can usually be accessed by typing in c/windows/temp. If you see a bunch of files when your eBook is open or running, it means that your computer is decompressing the secure data from your eBook before showing the eBook to the viewer. This method is not secure. It means that anyone with the knowledge of how to access these temporary files can steal the secure data, and then they can fiddle with your iBook to their evil heart's desire. Remember, one of the main purposes of buying and using an HTML compiler is to protect your property. Next, let's discuss passwords. When trying to choose an eBook compiler, check out the type of passwords that the compiler supports. Almost all compilers offer some kind of password protection that ensures that the user can only access the contents they have purchased from you. However, the best compilers offer varied ways to generate different types of passwords. Choose a compiler that gives you the options of secure, user-friendly, and open password generation. Another important factor when it comes to passwords is how the compiler generates them. A compiler that has internal password protection generation built into the software is more secure than compilers that link to live internet password control systems. Find out if the compiler generates passwords online. If it has this option, it allows you to choose any payment processing system you want or to do the payment processing yourself. Next, look into the size of eBook the compiler supports. The best compilers can create eBooks up to 2 GB in size without decompressing the HTML pages or images to your hard disk. Usually eBooks that are 2 GB in size can easily support 6 GB of compressed data. The catch here is that only text files will generally be compressible. You do not want a compiler that decompresses this amount of data when the user attempts to open your iBook. This would mean that anyone who purchases your iBook will have to wait for all the data to decompress before they can access your iBook right after downloading it. So look for compilers that only decompress temporarily files that are not HTML to the local hard disk. Non-HTML files include Flash, Word, and Acrobat files. This type of compiler is more secure and certainly faster. Make sure the compiler you choose is compatible with your system software. Check out what version of Windows it requires and make sure you have that version before buying your compiler. Support issues are extremely important. Choose a compiler that includes an installation program. This program allows your user to choose a number of different places on their computer to install the eBook, to place a shortcut on their desktop, and to add the eBook, if they choose, to the Start Programs menu. You also want excellent and accessible vendor support. Make sure you can access quick technical support at 3 o'clock in the morning. This factor will be very important. Also check to see the terms of free technical support offered. Unlimited technical support is obviously the best option. Check to see if the company that puts out the compiler software offers a service level agreement. This agreement is to assure you of their quality response to your questions or problems. A good thing to consider is how long the compiler has been on the market. Usually the version number will give you an idea. The longer the program is on the market, the higher the version number, the more bugs have been worked out. When choosing an eBook compiler, do not be swayed by incredible promises and dazzling sales copy. Do your homework first and then consider all the above issues and factors before choosing an eBook compiler.